you spoken to the new chairman yet?
Mr. Lai will, he will be in touch with John all the time rather than me. His English is not brilliant, but he's the owner of the football club, and I think John and him speak at least once a day.
What's your Chinese like?
As good as yours, I should imagine.
How are you going to? So you're not going to speak to him at all? You're just going to.
I think he's coming over. If I need to speak to him, then I'll speak to him. But I think it's the chain of command is through John, and like I say, I think Mr. Lai speaks to him every day, and then it will be John will, if he needs to speak to me or needs anything from me, then John will pass it on, and I'm sure we can get an interpreter together where we can communicate if we need to. But he's a long way away. He's got a lot of other things to think about. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
How does that work with you? Because I mean, I remember
no.
When you were at Stoke, you used to say, "I'll speak to Mr. Coates, speak to Coates every day." And
well, I'll speak to John. I've spoken to John every day. So John has got that responsibility now to be with me and to communicate with me. And as I've said before, John's a good lad. I've enjoyed his company as much as anything else.
Have you?
Yeah, he's a good lad.
You seem to be quite contradictory over the last month.
No, not at all. I think we'll have differences. I don't mean to say that I don't like someone.
Now, this is coming up. Well, it's your 1000th game in charge. What's changed in all that time? People say your tactics haven't gone well.
We'd what's name? We'd be be here a long time. For you to criticise my tactics after 1000 games, that's pretty poor.
No, I was having a point at you, Tony, but sometimes you can come back and give me a great answer. that wasn't one of them. But now, what do you think after 1000 games? What has changed really?
Well, everything's changed. Life has changed. I think football is a reflection on life and society, and I think that you have to move with the times, and we've moved with the times. I've moved with the times. People are different now than what they were 20 odd years ago. That's for sure, and there's different priorities, and there's good. There's lots of good things that have happened, but there's lots of things that 20 years ago I wouldn't have changed. I wouldn't change even now, and quite a few things that I keep in place in my management and in my repertoire, and I want those things to stay in place. Discipline, respect, and hard work, and not bad words, and I expect that from everybody, and especially the people who are in the players' positions, who are very, very fortunate, very lucky. They've been blessed, and they live in a bubble, and they live in a world where they get absolutely everything. And there's a lot of people out there who now they've become film stars really, as much as anything else.
Is that the one thing you've changed? Do you think?
No, I don't. I'm not one for it's happened and that's the way it's gone, and what you do, you change with it. And the only thing I will say is that sometimes I think by coming in at such an early age and not seeing what the rest of the world is about and what life is about outside of football, they have no perception how fortunate they are. And if you could change or bring something to this game, it's given them the opportunity to look outside the bubble that they live in, and then respect and recognise how lucky they are in lots and lots of ways.
You think they were easier to manage though when you were at Bournemouth in those early years?
Are they different? I'm not sure they're easier to manage, but they're different. There's like I say, different outlook on life, and everything has changed, and I mean everything. But you have to manage. If you want to stay in it and you want to be with it, then you have to change, and you have to change, your whole perspective really on the way their life is lived. Really, they live a different life.
Do you think this couldn't be written any more perfect?
Well, I think getting it dropping at the club I had just a wonderful time with, and I've great respect for Peter and the Coates family. For it to have dropped there is it's amazing really. You couldn't have written it. So I'll enjoy it. I'll go there and I'll enjoy it, but I'll be nervous before, as I always am. I'll be nervous during the game, and might have a glass of wine after the game.